Hari Om. Thank you for joining day 2 session. So before we actually start today's session, we had a couple of announcements to be done based on the request that we have got recently. There are some changes to the program structure, so we wanted your attention on the same. We have posted the same message in Bhagavad Gita WhatsApp group as well, and we would like to repeat the same message for everyone's attention. So as per the request, now these programs will be continued only on Zoom. Thank you for your request for continuing this on Zoom. So all the sessions will be on Zoom, but not on YouTube live session. And the recorded sessions will be made available on Sai Gita Ashram's YouTube channel. And please, if you have not yet registered for the session, there is a Google Form link that is already shared in the WhatsApp group. Please register yourself because registrations are mandatory for any future communication related to the classes. And another important and new thing that we need your attention is weekly once we are going to publish a questionnaire. It will be a Google form and it will be an online form, and you can answer to these questionnaire. It will be kind of a revision for everyone. And last but not the least, there will be one final assessment conducted at the end of Bhagavad Gita 21 sessions. And successful members will be awarded with a participation certificate. So kindly note this point. And if you still have any queries, please reach out to us on this numbers shared on the screen, 909-5383-940. And thank you so much. We'll now get immersed into the spiritual discourse. Over to Gita Ma. Thank you. Hari Om.
Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadhanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Guru Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Ajnanatimidandhasya ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः ध्यानमूलं गुरोर्मूर्तिः पूजामूलं गुरोः पदं मन्त्रमूलं गुरोर्वाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरोः कृपः नमोस्तुते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. My humble prostrations to the lotus feet of my Pujya Gurudev, Pujya Sadguru, Sri 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 Sai Kumarji, and my namaskars to Ashram's Uttaradhikari, Sri Kirtimaji. Sai Shiva Hari Om. A very warm welcome to all of you. In the first session, we had discussed about the causes for the Mahabharat war. What led to the Mahabharat war? There were so many causes, and how jealousy, the seed of jealousy, was rooted in Gandhari's womb. Then the armies, both the armies were getting ready for the war, and how Arjuna went and sought Krishna's help, Duryodhana, the Narayani Seva. Then we also we named the 5 divine personalities, the blessed souls who had the opportunity to listen to the Bhagavad Gita directly. So now let's continue. 5 blessed souls simultaneously shared the privilege of partaking the ambrosia of the Bhagavad Gita. While Arjuna was the immediate and direct recipient of the Bhagavad Gita from Sri Krishna, Hanuman listened to it sitting on the flag on top of Arjuna's chariot, 𝘂𝑃𝑑𝑉𝒊𝒕𝒂𝒎𝒂. And Sanjaya, they got access to the Bhagavad Gita from different places. Vyasa was placed in a forest and he went on recording it mentally. He was recording it in his mind. Such powerful memory he had. And Sanjaya, he was sitting in the palace of Hastinapur and he was relating it, whatever he was listening to, he was relating it to the inquisitive blind monarch Dhritarashtra. Unfortunately, Dhritarashtra was not only physically blind, but his mental blindness matched with his physical blindness, because the words of wisdom which Sanjaya was narrating to him were empty words that entered Dhritarashtra's ears. They were just empty words. Now, what is the difference between the radio and the intuitive faculty? The function of the radio is to catch, broadcast, and reproduce the sound, be it music, a song, a play, a speech, a poetry, or any news. It reproduces the sound and its effect is public. Everybody can hear it who lends a ear. But intuitive knowledge, on the other hand, is personal and private. All cannot share it, but it has the power to transform the experiencer into a sage. Now, they're enlightened souls. This intuitive knowledge, only a few enlightened souls are bestowed with this intuitive knowledge. And they have the power to grasp the ideas, the thoughts, and feelings of the opposite person. No, there is what you say, no discrimination, no need of any language, no bar of language. Be it a Japanese man, an Englishman, a Frenchman, a German man, anybody, or Keralite or Madrasi, a Bengali, whoever it is, they can just grasp the thoughts, their feelings, their ideas. Language is not the medium of language is not necessary here. And Vyasa had this special capacity of intuitive knowledge. By recording the divine message of the Lord mentally, he has conferred a great boon on mankind. Later, he narrated it to Sri Ganesha, and Sri Ganesha was the scribe, and that is how we got the Mahabharata and the Bhagavad Gita. So we owe our gratitude to sage Vyasa and Sri Ganesha. Now, coming to the point, we have spoken about the 4 blessed souls who could directly listen to the Bhagavad Gita. Now, who is the 5th blessed soul? He was none other than 𝘠𝑟𝑏, the son of 𝘠𝘩𝘪𝘃 and the grandson of Bhima. The story of 𝘠𝑟𝑏 is not given in any of the Mahabharata texts. Very few people know about this, and the story which I'll be narrating it to you is the story told to us by our Pujya Sadhguruji in the ashram. 𝘠𝑟𝑏 was a very valiant warrior even during his childhood. He was a very soft-spoken, very humble, polite, devoted person. He was a lover of Sri Krishna. He used to love Sri Krishna. So he was such a valiant warrior during his childhood. He learned the art of warfare from his mother, 𝘠𝑚𝑜𝑟𝑣. Later, in his youth, he wanted to improve his skills in archery, so he does rigorous penance. Lord Shiva is so pleased with him that he manifests before 𝘠𝘪𝘵 and tells, �𝘪𝘵, I am pleased with your tapasya. So, as a gift, I'm giving you 3 infallible arrows. These arrows are so powerful. And he explains the power of the arrows. The first arrow, you can use it. When you shoot, you can mark the enemy. It is to mark the enemy, the first arrow. The second arrow, with the second arrow, you can protect the people whom you want to protect. And the third arrow, you can destroy your enemy whom you have marked. So, Shiva gives him these 3 arrows and says, in return, as a gift, I'm giving you these arrows. I want a return gift from you. Promise me that you will not use these arrows for your personal vengeance. And secondly, you will always support that army which is weaker, which is weak in army, in strength. 𝘠𝘪𝘵 makes this promise. He is happy to receive the arrows. Then, after some time, Lord Agnideva appears before 𝘠𝘪𝘵 and hands it over to him, a celestial bow, with which he could be victorious in the 3 worlds. So, 𝘠𝘪𝘵 take that bow also. Now he has a powerful bow as well as 3 infallible arrows with him. Within minutes, 𝘠𝘪𝘵 had the power to destroy an entire army. So powerful they were. Duryodhana comes to know of this, about 𝘠𝘪𝘵's power. He thinks, oh, he is a Pandava, he belongs to the Pandava clan. He's the grandson of Bhima. Obviously, he'll be on the Pandava side. No, I can't let that happen. If he is on the Pandava side, the Pandavas are sure to win the war. No, at any cost, I should win the war. I should see the Pandavas defeat. He makes up his mind and goes to 𝘠𝘪𝘵. Very cunningly, he makes friends with him. 𝘠𝘪𝘵 is carried away by his artificial love and flowery language. He is so bent upon Duryodhana that he gives a word to Duryodhana that I will support you in the war. Duryodhana is happy to hear that. Now it is Sri Krishna's turn. The omniscient Krishna knows everything. So he thinks, 𝘠𝘪𝘵 has given a word to Duryodhana. What will happen to my Pandavas? Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. If you protect Dharma, Dharma in turn will protect you. And who was the Dharma? The embodiment of Dharma was Sri Krishna himself. So he wanted to protect the Pandavas because the Pandavas were on the dharmic path. They were on the righteous path. So he had to help them. So Sri Krishna goes to 𝘠𝘪𝘵 and says, the moment 𝘠𝘪𝘵 sees Sri Krishna, Krishna, I'm so happy to see you. What can I do for you? Please command me. I'm in your service. He bows down and touches his feet. 𝘠𝘪𝘵 says, Krishna says, I heard a lot about you, 𝘠𝘪𝘵, that you have 3 infallible arrows. Your power is excellent. You have excellent powers. You're a valiant warrior. I want to witness your skills with my own eyes. That's why I have come here. Can you demonstrate the power of your arrows on this people tree, pointing to the tree that was before them? Sri Krishna says, can you demonstrate your skills on that tree? Regard this tree as your enemy. 𝘠𝘪𝘂 was so happy. He was swimming in bliss. The Lord asking me to demonstrate my skills. I'm so lucky. I'm so fortunate, Krishna, that you have come here all the way to see my skills. As you say, I will do it. He bowed down to Krishna. Then he took his bow, the first arrow and the bow, and took his position. It is the custom of every first grade warrior to offer prayers before they wage a war. Even so, 𝘠𝘪𝘂 first offered his prayers. He closed his eyes to offer his prayers. The moment he closed his eyes, Sri Krishna gazed at the people tree and made one leaf fall down where right near his feet. And quickly he concealed the leaf with his foot. He hid the leaf under his foot. And after 𝘠𝘪𝘂 finished his prayers, he opened his eyes and shot the first arrow on the tree. 3/4 of the leaves of the tree were marked red, indicating that they were all his enemies. Again, he shot the second arrow and punched holes in a few leaves, marking them as a protection. And again, he shot another third arrow. This arrow straight away went to the tree and burnt all the leaves. All the leaves were burnt to ashes, which were marked red. And that arrow again turned back, and straight away it came to Krishna's foot, where Krishna, the leaf was hidden under Krishna's foot. So the arrow, the tip of the arrow touched Krishna's big toe. The leaf was concealed between Krishna's big toe and second toe. So in between the small gap between the two toes, the arrow touched Krishna's big toe and his big toe started bleeding. It pierced into the ground and tore the leaf into pieces. After saying this, Krishna was flabbergasted. He said, "Wow, 𝘠𝘪𝘂, wow, fantastic. Your skills are superb. Your skill is unparalleled. Nobody can compete with you. There's nobody in this world who can compete with you." Again, he said, in his mind, it was going on in Sri Krishna's mind, this boy is going to support the wrong side, Duryodhana. So I should put an end. He said, 𝘠𝘪𝘂, I want something from you as charity. Can you give me? 𝘠𝘪𝘂 said, Krishna, please order. I'm in your service. I'm ready to give my life also. Please order me. Then Krishna said, see, 𝘠𝘪𝘂, before the war commences, I have to make a human sacrifice. And for that human sacrifice, I need the head of the bravest Kshatriya warrior. And other than you, I do not see any bravest Kshatriya. So to me, you are the bravest Kshatriya warrior. So I want your head as charity. Without giving a second thought, without hesitating, without any fear, 𝘠𝘪𝘂 said, yes, my lord, I will offer my head to you. But Krishna, I have one wish in my mind. Will you fulfill it? Yes, 𝘠𝘪𝘂, speak out. Tell me, what is your wish? I will surely fulfill it. Keshav, I want to witness the great epic Mahabharat war with my own eyes. Krishna gave a gentle smile and said, yes, you will definitely see the war. Even after your head is severed from your body, your head will be in a conscious state. I will make your head put on a mountain top overlooking the battlefield, and from there you can see the entire happenings of the war. So, as Krishna said this, Barbaric felt very happy because his wish is going to be fulfilled. One more thing Krishna told him was, see Barbaric, in the next era, that is in the coming Kali Yuga, you will be worshipped by the people of Kali Yuga, and you will bear one of my names. You will be named Sham. And those who worship you with faith and devotion and chant your name from the bottom of their heart, all their worries will be shattered. They will be blessed. They will have peace of mind. Barbaric felt more happy. After hearing this, he bowed down to Krishna and immediately severed his head. And Sri Krishna called Bhima and gave him the head of Barbaric to him and told him to place it on the mountain top overlooking the war field. And that was how Barbaric could witness the entire Mahabharat war, and he was blessed to even listen to the ambrosia of the Bhagavad Gita. So, after the war, all the Pandavas, the 5 Pandavas, were discussing among themselves, how is it, who is responsible for our winning the war? We are victorious, but who's responsible for this victory? You, me, they were going on arguing among themselves. Then Sri Krishna makes his entry and tells, why are you discussing so much about the victory? Go to Barbaric. Barbaric's head is still in a conscious state on the mountain top overlooking the battlefield. You go and ask him. He will be the best judge because he was a neutral witness to the entire war happenings. Go and ask him. So all the 5 Pandavas rushed to the mountain top to ask Barbaric. Barbaric tells them, none of you are responsible for your victory. It is only Sri Krishna. It was because of Sri Krishna you have won the war. He was his valuable advice helped you. His divine company helped you, and his game plan helped you. All these were crucial for winning the war. One important point Sadhguruji told us in the ashram was about Barbaric. Why did Sri Krishna send the Pandavas to Barbaric? Because Barbaric saw that spectacular scene on the war field which no other person could see. What was that? When the Pandavas were shooting arrows on the enemy army, before the arrows or the spears or the daggers or the gadhas, the mace, touch the enemy, within fraction of a second, Sri Krishna Sudarshana Chakra touched the enemy and killed them. Before this could touch, in fraction of a second, this happened. But to the onlookers, it was the arrows that killed, it was the spears that killed the enemy army. Only Barbaric witnessed this spectacular scene. It was Sri Krishna Sudarshana Chakra. And this point we will discuss in the 10th chapter, Vibhuti Yoga, where Sri Krishna says, I am the doer, I am the sustainer, I am the killer. He talks about his glories. So in that, this will come. So it is not Arjuna killing anybody. It is Sri Krishna himself killing the army, but invisible to anybody. Only Barbaric was fortunate to see the Sudarshana Chakra killing the enemy army. So after some days, after the war, Sri Krishna takes Barbaric's head and offers it in the river 𝘰𝘯𝑦𝑑𝘦. So it's with the tidal waves, it goes on and goes on and goes on and stops in Khatu village in Sikar district of Rajasthan. Khatu village in Sikar district of Rajasthan. In Kali Yuga, in that same place, Khatu village, Sikar district, Khatu village, suddenly a small infant appeared in the fields. A Brahmin saw him and started looking after the infant. Every day, a cow used to appear from nowhere and pour milk into the infant's mouth, opening its udders. After some days, the infant disappeared, and in its place was a black stone. The Brahmin was surprised. He saw, this is amazing. What is this? So that boy was no ordinary infant. The same day, the ruler of that region, 𝘠𝘩𝘪𝘴, had a dream. He hears a voice in the dream saying that, build a temple and worship that black stone as 𝘠𝘪𝘠𝑚𝑗𝑖. And that is how the first temple of 𝘠𝘪𝘠𝑚𝑗𝑖 came into existence in Rajasthan. And till today, he is worshipped by the Marwadi community. 𝘠𝘪𝘠𝑚𝑗𝑖 also happens to be the Kul Devata, the family deity of the Rajput Chauhan families. So here also in Hyderabad, we have a temple dedicated to 𝘠𝘪𝘠𝑚𝑗𝑖. It is near Kachiguda railway station. We have a temple here in Hyderabad too. So this is the story of Barbaric, which you do not find in any Mahabharata text. This was told by our Pujya Sadhguruji. You can find it in the internet also. But in the internet, it is a little different. It is not what Sadhguruji has said it. Now coming to our main topic, the Bhagavad Gita. In the words of Pujya Sadhguruji, the Bhagavad Gita, Gita leni illu, Truppapattina illu, Sadhguruji says. A house without the Gita is a rusted house. That is the meaning. You ask a Christian, which is your holy text, you will get one answer, the Bible. You ask a Muslim, which is your holy text, one answer, one voice, the Holy Quran. But you ask a Hindu, which is your holy text, they get confused. Now, which scripture should I name? Is it the Vedas? It is the Bhagavatam. Is it the Gita? Is it the Ramayana? They hesitate, they don't know, we are confused. But the Bhagavad Gita is the holy text, is our greatest scripture. It is a great holy text. It is one of our most valuable possessions that we can ever possess, the Bhagavad Gita. It is our greatest asset in life. There are many people who get scared the moment they hear the word Bhagavad Gita, or you give them a copy of the Bhagavad Gita. They will, oh, is this for me? No, na baba na, this is not for me. They straight away say that. Why? Because very few people understand that the Bhagavad Gita is the safe boat that ferries us across the ocean of samsara, turbulent with the waves of happiness and sorrow. Many people are under the misconception that the Bhagavad Gita is only for the aged, the retired persons, for sannyasins and yogins. But it is the dire need of the hour that we have to revive our ancient cultural heritage and make known to the common man the value of the Bhagavad Gita. The one who enlightened the Bhagavad Gita is the 𝘴𝘪𝘓𝑚urti, and the one who got enlightened with the Bhagavad Gita is the 𝘷𝘪𝑚urti, Arjun. The one who instructed the Bhagavad Gita is Purushottama, and the one who received the instruction was Narottama, Arjuna. So this celestial song, the song of God, is the outcome of such a moment, 𝘴𝘪𝑚urti and 𝘷𝘪𝑚urti. The Bhagavad Gita is the fruit of the penance of Nar and Narayan. It is an immortal conversation between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. The message given through the Gita is beyond the confines of time, region, nationality, and culture. It propagates the wisdom professed by all religions and cultures. The underlying principles that form the very basis of religious texts are inherent in the Gita, and that is why the Bhagavad Gita is popularly known as the universal gospel. There are several Gitas in the world. The Adhyatma Gita, the Avadhuta Gita, Brahma Gita, Shiva Gita, Devi Gita, Bhikshu Gita, Hansa Gita, Kapila Gita, Guru Gita, Ashtavakra Gita, so on and so forth. But it is this Krishna Gita that is most popularly known as the Bhagavad Gita, or only as the Gita. The doctrines or the set of beliefs mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita are easy to comprehend and emulate by the common man in day-to-day life. Most of you may have heard about Max Muller. He was one of the founders of the Western academic disciplines of Indian and religious studies. Max Muller was the one great personality who translated our Vedas into English. Edwin Arnold, he was a great English poet and journalist. He also translated the Bhagavad Gita in a poetic form in English. And Annie Besant, women's rights activist, writer, and orator. All these three Westerners, they were so much overwhelmed by the power of the Bhagavad Gita. They not only studied it, they absorbed its teachings and adopted the prescribed standards given in the Gita in their day-to-day life. Moreover, they have spread the glory of the Bhagavad Gita all over the world. So we must owe our gratitude to Max Muller, Edwin Arnold, and Annie Besant, who have done such a great job when we are not able to utter a word from the Gita. The Gita can be compared to the wish-fulfilling Kalpavriksha, because you find a solution for every problem that man faces in life. Shuka Maharshi took 7 days to unravel the secrets of moksha to King Parikshit. But here in the case of the Bhagavad, the scenario was immeasurably different. The time and the ambience were both lacking. It was not an assembly of highly learned scholars or intellectuals or pundits or sages. The Lord was standing in the battlefield, surrounded by warriors. Yet, the Lord could sum up all the wisdom of the Vedanta and Shastras and put it in a nutshell and hand it over to Arjuna. The recital was so simple and apt that it was easy for Arjuna to adopt the moral code revealed with utmost care and comfort. The moment Arjuna listened to the Bhagavad Gita, not heard, we hear people. But when it comes to Mahatmas, when it comes to sermons or pravachans, we listen. Hearing is you hear a person and you may forget it. But listening is that you have to reflect on what you hear listening. Like Shravanam, in Sanskrit you call it Shravanam. So when Arjuna finished his Shravanam of the Bhagavad Gita, when he listened to the Bhagavad Gita, his declaration changed. Till then he said, I will not fight the war. I will give up my weapons. I will flee from here. All this changed. And what he said, Krishna, command me. I will obey your orders. I am ready to fight the war. How come such a drastic change within minutes? It was only because of the divine wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita passed on by Sri Krishna to Arjuna. That was the power of the Bhagavad Gita Arjuna grasped. The Gita addresses issues related not only to spirituality, but also to the social, political, psychological, cultural, and literary aspects being contemplated by people. The Gita is the cream of the Vedas. It is the essence, it is the very essence of the Upanishads. It is the source of all wisdom. It is our great guide. It is our spiritual teacher. It is an inexhaustible spiritual treasure. It is an ocean of knowledge. It is a fountain of bliss. It is full of divine splendor and grandeur. Since the Upanishads are out of reach for the common man, as the Dhyana sloka goes, Sarvopanishado gavo dogda gopala nandanaha partho vatsav sudhir bhokta dugdam gitamrutam mahate. Since the Upanishads are out of reach for the common man, Sri Krishna has milked the cow named Upanishad by luring it with a calf named Arjuna to get the milk of Brahma Jnana named Bhagavad Gita, held by a container named Vyasa. What a beautiful sloka this is. Therefore, the stern philosophies of the Upanishads have been made attainable in the larger interest of mankind. You can say the Bhagavad Gita is like the lighthouse illuminating the path in the ocean of Mahabharata. Now you go to a river, say the river Ganga. You take a glass, you get a glass full of water. You take a bottle, you get a bottle full of water. You take a can full of water. Whatever container you take, that much water, that much quantity, you can collect water. But even if you take tankers of water, 10 tankers of water also, the river is full. It never gets empty. Likewise, as much as one absorbs from the Gita, it is still filled to the brim. Commenting commenting on the greatness of the Gita, Sri Adi Shankaracharya says, Bhagavad Gita kinchita dita, Ganga jalalava kanika pita. Study of a small portion of the Gita, drinking some water from the sacred river Ganga, offering prayers to Lord Vishnu sincerely, shall keep Lord Yama at a distance. So great it is. Therefore, one who thoroughly identifies himself with the convictions, with the belief system of the Bhagavad Gita is forever in a state of divine bliss. The conversation in the Bhagavad Gita between Arjuna and Sri Krishna is applicable to each one of us at different points of time. The conversation between Sri Krishna and Arjuna, they were two friends, they were relatives, they bonded as Guru and Shishya, they bonded as God and devotee. So Arjuna shared so many bonds with Sri Krishna. A patient is suffering with a long-standing dreadful disease. He's bedridden, he's on the bed, and the doctor approaches him. How does the patient feel? He gains confidence. My doctor is near my bedside. He is going to do something to me. I will be all right. He gains so much confidence. So the presence of a doctor near a patient gives him confidence. Even so, the proximity of a guru near the disciple. When the disciple is in the presence of the guru, he feels secure. The disciple feels, I'm in safe hands. My guru is with me. I am with my guru. So the proximity of a guru near the disciple gives him security. Likewise, the presence of the Gita pacifies the jiva struggling to cross the ocean of samsara. The Gita that cut off the ignorance of Arjuna, that cut off the misery of Arjuna, that ended the misery of Arjuna, can easily cut our ignorance and misery also, which is plaguing us in the form of lust, greed, anger, hatred, jealousy, egoism since several births. The Gita not only distances us from our vices, from our negative qualities, it also releases us from the wheel of punarapi, jananam punarapi maranam, from the wheel of birth and death. Remember, the Gita is not a Parayana Grantha. It is not like every day you open the Gita, you keep it in your worship place, open the Gita, Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta, you just by rote it and close, give one namaskara and keep it back in the puja place. No, the Gita is not a Parayana Grantha. It is an Acharana Grantha. It is known as Acharana Grantha, means that which you have to put it into practice in your daily life. This does not mean that you have to give up your duties, you have to take up sannyasa, you have to do rigorous rituals or rigorous penance. No. You be wherever you are, you be there only. You do whatever you're doing, you do that only. You continue with your day-to-day life, but still make the Gita a part of your life. That's all. It's not necessary that you have to wear the ochre robe, you have to turn the japmalas, you should always be in namaskara mudra, nothing like that. Your place in the modern society, yes, you lead the modern life according to your liking, but make the Gita a part of your life so that you become a much better person. This is indeed Vedanta. Practice is the key to any knowledge. What the Gita teaches us is internal cleansing, the spirit, then only the spirit of the Gita can be grasped easily. And that is what our Sadhguruji always stresses upon. He says, internal cleansing is very, very important. Why does a Sadhguruji say, Pavitramena drishte daivaniki deepalu, Pavitramena vake veda mantralu, Pavitramena manase bhagavantuni nivasa sthalamu. In every discourse, in every pravachan, a Sadhguruji repeats, because this is the main foundation for any sadhaka, for any aspirant to have a strong foundation. Pavitramaina drishti. Why? You have internal cleansing. Internally, you have, how do you clean your mind? You have to clean your sense organs. Then your mind will be automatically cleaned. How? Babaji says, Sadhguruji says, నీ మనస్సును దైవ నామమనే సబ్బుతో శుద్ధి చేసుకో. Clean your mind with the soap of the divine name. You clean the body with so many different kinds of soaps and liquid soaps. You say 𝘴𝘩𝑚𝑎 soap, Dove soap. Krishna. Mute indicator. 𝘴𝘩𝑚𝑎 soap, Lux soap, Cetaphil soap, Synthol soap, Lux soap. You clean your body with so many agents, soap agents. There are liquid soaps also. But what about the mind? How do you clean the mind? You have to clean the mind with the soap of the divine name. Constant repetition of the divine name. Internal cleansing is very, very important. Mere rituals do not suffice. You entertain hatred, jealousy towards others, and you do so many rituals, so many vratas, so many pujas. So you turn so many malas of japa. You do Mauna Vrata also, but mentally you are entertaining hatred. Mentally you are entertaining jealousy on others. What is the use? That will not help in your progress. The individual and the society are both interlinked and cannot be separated. They need to synchronize with each other. Realizing that the same cosmic energy is flowing in each one of us, we need to be at peace with ourselves first. We talk of Vishwa Shanti, universal peace, we say. We want world peace, world peace. From where will you get Vishwa Shanti when you don't have peace within your own self? First, we should have peace within our own self. And to get that peace, we should realize that the same cosmic energy is flowing through each one of us. We are no different beings. This can happen when we move towards our inherent divinity within us. And Gita is capable of bringing this transformation in us. There are 7 colors. Of the 7 colors of the rays of the sun form the white color. These 7 colors, we can see them clearly in the rainbow. The trees and plants, the flowers, absorb the color they need for their nourishment and survival. Similarly, there are different yogas, 18 different yogas in the Bhagavad Gita. You can choose any yoga according to your liking, according to what suits you best, and transform yourself into a much better person. So life is a struggle. The conflict, the internal conflict is going on. Just as the war took place, the external war between the Kauravas and the Pandavas, the internal war between virtues and vices is going on and on since our very birth. There is the struggle going on between the right and wrong, between dharma and adharma, the satya and asatya, nyaya and anyaya, between virtues and vices. The Lord supported the Pandavas because they had all the good qualities. So the support of the Lord is very essential. Therefore, every individual should seek the support of the Lord in overcoming the base qualities and moving on to a higher plane of existence. This is what we are taught in the Bhagavad Gita in the guise of Arjuna. So this is the introductory talk on the Bhagavad Gita. So let us now recite the Dhyana Sloka.
Hari Om Gita Ma.
Okay.
Gita Ma, Baba is here.
Hari Om Ma.
Hari Om Baba.
Om Hari Om. Me. శుభరాత్రి ఈరోజు సాయంకాలం భగవద్గీత సర్వవేదాల సారం మాట మీ నోట శ్రీకృష్ణుని మాట మీ నోట వినడం చాలా గొప్ప. భగవంతుని మాట మన నోట. ఇది ఎన్నో జన్మల చేసిన శ్రమ, చేసిన ప్రయత్నం ఈ రోజు ఇది పూర్తి కాబోతుంది. మరి చాలా చక్కది 18 శ్లోకాలలో అన్ని రకాలు ఉంటాయి. భగవద్గీతలో మీకు జ్యోతిష్యం దొరుకుతుంది, ప్రతి ప్రశ్నకు సమాధానం దొరుకుతుంది, ప్రతి క్వశ్చన్కి ఆన్సర్ దొరుకుతుంది, సమాధానం అంటే ఆన్సర్ దొరుకుతుంది. జ్యోతిష్యం ఉంటుంది దాంట్లో. ధైర్యం ఎలా ఉండాలి, అధైర్యం ఏంటి, ధైర్యం ఏంటి, మానవ శరీరం ఉంది, మానవత్వం ఎలా ఉండాలి, చదువుంది, సంస్కారం ఎలా ఉండాలి, ఇవన్నీ భగవద్గీతలో చాలా చక్కగా చెప్పారు. 18 శ్లోకాలు మీరు బ్యాడ్ చేసి ఆయన్ని పిలువండి, గోకులం వదిలి మీ ఇంటికి వస్తాడు. భగవాన్ రక్షణ, సాయి రక్షణ. శుభరాత్రి.
Please continue, Gita Ma.
I think time is up. No? 5 more minutes is there. So let's continue. We are blessed to have Sadhguruji's darshan. It's a real double blessing to all of us. Now, let's chant the first Dhyana Sloka of the Bhagavad Gita. From tomorrow, the next session, we will start with the first chapter. These 2 sessions, we had the introductory talk. So today, we'll just chant the first sloka of the Dhyana Slokas. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Graditam Purana Muninam Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrutavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim. The meaning of this sloka. This is the Gita Dhyana Sloka, or the Gita Dhyana, as you may call it. Before we switch on to the main topic of the Bhagavad Gita, it is a custom to chant this sloka. The meaning of this sloka is Lord Narayana gave Partha, that is Arjuna, the directions in the Bhagavad Gita. He gave the ambrosia of the Bhagavad Gita, which was afterwards compiled by the ancient and the great skilled Vedavyasa and included in the Mahabharata. O Mother Goddess, who shares the nectar of Advaita, Advaitamrutavarshini, who shares the nectar of Advaita, called the Bhagavad Gita, which has 18 chapters, Ashtadashaadhyayinim. I meditate on you, Mother, who removes the cycle of rebirth. नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः. I bow to you, Vyasadeva, for your wide and profound understanding with gorgeous eyes, not the physical, but the third eye. Like the petals of a fully blossomed lotus, you have lit the lamp of wisdom with the oil called Bharatam. Prapanna parijataya stotra vetraikapanaye jnana mudraya krishnaya 𝘰𝘰𝑷𝘦𝘳𝑒 namaha. My respects to Lord Krishna, who is the shelter for those who have been born from the sea, Lakshmi, holding a staff in the shape of a crane head to tend to the cattle, and raising the other hand with the thumb touching the tip of the forefinger to indicate divine knowledge. He is the milker of the Bhagavad Gita's immortal nectar. Sarvopanishado gavo dogda gopala nandanaha partho vatsa sudhir bhokta dugdam gitamrutam mahate. All the Upanishads are the cows, and Krishna is the one who is milking the cow. The milker is the son of the cowherd, Gopala Nandana, and Arjuna, son of Prutha, is the calf. If the entire Upanishads are likened to cows, the drinkers are the persons of pure intelligence, and the greatest nectar of Gita is the milk. Vasudev Vasutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. I bow to Lord Krishna, Vasudeva's son and the universe's preceptor, his mother Devaki's supreme bliss, and the destroyer of the demons, Kamsa and Chanura. 𝘁ष्मद्रोण तटा जयद्रथ जला गांधार नीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थाम विकर्ण मकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोतीर्णा खलु पांडवैः प्रणनदी 𝘰𝘷𝘦𝘳𝑗𝑒𝑠⁴. Bhishma and Drona are the banks on the Kurukshetra battleground. Water is Jayadratha, and the water lily represents Shakuni, the king of Gandhara. Surya represents the shark. Krishna represents the masterpiece. The Pandavas were able to cross the river of conflict with the help of Keshava, the boatman. Parasharya vachav sarojamamalam Gitartha gandhodkatam Nanakyanaka kesharam harikata Sambodhana bodhitam Loke sajjana shatpadaira haraya पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद् भारत पंकजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे. May the spotless lotus of the Mahabharata, which was created by the water of Parashara's son Vyasa's words, with many stories as stamens which blossoms by discourses on Sri Hari's divine stories, which is quaffed daily with pleasure in this world by saintly individuals who are like honey bees seeking nectar from the fragrant Bhagavad Gita, which also serves as the remover of all sins in the Kali Yuga. May the Mahabharata's lotus bestow the highest goodness on us. Mukam karoti vachalam panghum langayate girim yat krupatamaham vande paramananda madhavam. If he enjoys the grace of Madhava, the supreme bliss, a dumb person can speak and a lame person can jump up the hill. यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्र मरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थित तद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः देवाय तस्मै नमः. Let us all bow down to Lord Sri Krishna, whom Brahma, Varuna, Indra, Rudra, Marutas, and all divine beings honor in the Vedas and their supplementary sections, such as the Upanishads, with glorious songs, whom the followers of 𝘴𝘠𝑑𝘦 glorify with song, whom renowned mystics behold with their minds engrossed in perfect meditation, and of whom all the hosts of demigods and demons have no knowledge of the limits. Let every reverence be paid to him, the Supreme Lord. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat.